NDTL, net demand and time liabilities of the bank. First of all, we shall talk about the assets of the bank and the liabilities of the bank. What is asset of the bank? Bank lends loan to the public, to you and to me for any purpose. We can approach the bank and get a loan. This is called the asset of the bank because after the loan is sanctioned, the money goes in the hands of public. Public utilize this money, but one or the other day you have to return this money to the bank. That is why these loans are called asset of the bank. Next comes the liabilities of the bank. General public, including the corporates and the household people, they deposit money in the bank. They open various types of account with the bank. It can be savings account, current account, fixed deposit, recurring deposit. Fixed deposit, you can deposit the money, say 1 lakh rupees for a period of 3 years or 4 years depending upon the suitability. Recurring deposit means every month you will be depositing 10,000 or 50,000. A fixed amount of money will be deposited in your account every month. So these accounts, people deposit money in the bank. This is called the liability of the bank because ultimately this is the money of the people which has been deposited in the bank. Bank has to return this money to the public. Therefore, this is called the liability of the bank. Now in the next slide, we shall classify the liability of the bank, which is of two types. It can be demand liability, it can be time liability. Customer, they can walk in the bank anytime whenever they need money and they can ask for money because they have opened a savings account or current account in the bank, and whenever the customer needs money, he can easily go and ask the bank to return the money. This is called asked on demand. You may be needing money right now, you can go right now. I may be needing money tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. So that is why so many people flock in the bank to withdraw the money. When the customer asks for money, the bank cannot refuse to repay. The bank has to repay that money. Such type of liability is called demand liability because this liability arises on demand of the customer. Whenever the customer needs money, feel free to walk to the bank and withdraw the money. Next is the time liability. This liability will arise on a certain fixed time period. For example, fixed deposit, when you open it for a period of say 3 years or 4 years. So when will the customer come to take the money back? After the period of 3 or 4 years. Before that, the liability will not arise. This is not going to arise instantaneously. It will not arise immediately. It will arise only on the lapse of that certain time period. The bank is able to predict this liability. Therefore, it is called time liability. Many a time, the fixed deposit liability, it can turn to time liability. We classify fixed deposit as a time liability, but it can also turn into demand liability if people nullify their FD. If the FD is for 5 years, but you want money right now, you can say just break this FD, I want the money right now. So it will turn into demand liability. But usually nobody does this. People let the FD mature, only then they ask for money. So originally this fixed deposit is a time liability, but it can change to demand liability. So now comes what is the meaning of NDTL. This is the total deposits minus the total withdrawal. Whatever deposits are there with the bank, you subtract the money which is withdrawn. That is called NDTL. First of all, total the demand liabilities and time liabilities of the banks and then subtract the assets. The liability of the banks keep on fluctuating because banks have withdrawals regularly. People keep on coming for asking for money. So this NDTL is calculated every 2 weeks, and based on this NDTL, the CRR, cash reserve ratio, and the statutory liquidity ratio of the countries are calculated. So this NDTL is a real base to run the economy of the country. Thank you for watching. Please like and share and subscribe my channel.